Hello everyone. Let's review Shloka 92 in Lalita Sahasranamam. Madaghūrṇita raktākśhī madapāṭala gaṇḍabhūḥ chandana dravadigdhāṅgī chāmpeya kusuma priyā. Let's look at the meanings of the namas. But before we proceed, just as a reminder, we are looking at Devi in the Bindu. So the first nama here is madaghūrṇita raktākśhī. Mada is bliss or intoxication. Ghūrṇita means dizzy, and Rakta is the red color, Akshi is ice. So on top of the Bindu, how is Lalita looking? Lalita has red eyes, and that is because she is dizzy with the bliss. And what is that bliss? On top of the Bindu, Lalita Tripura Sundari is nothing but the union of Shiva and Shakti. So that's called, at the top of the Bindu, she's both Shiva and Shakti. It is the union of Shiva and Shakti. And that union of Shiva and Shakti represents the Sringara Rasa. So that Sringara Rasa is the essence of the universe. In the material world, that is the reason for creation. And for someone to attain bliss, the union or unity of experience is what helps them achieve the bliss. So if you look at the unity of experience, the experience has three sides to it. It's called as the triad of reality. So there is always the experiencer, what is experienced, and the process of experiencing. So this is called as pramana, prameya, and pramatur. So there's always these three sides. And because we are all under the influence of Maya, we are thinking about ourselves as the experiencer. Us and the world are separate, right? There is the aham, idam. So aham is me, the subject who is experiencing everything, and idam is the world that I am experiencing. So everything is outside of us. As long as we have this separation, then the wheel of Maya is still intact. The moment we recognize that the experience, the experiencer, and what is experienced are all one and the same, then the trikona dissolves, and that's when there is union. And that union is the reason for bliss. The moment that veil of Maya is lifted and we recognize our oneness, the Atman and the Brahman, the unity of that is experienced, then that's called as liberation. So that Sringara Rasa is the reason for, is the essence of everything in this universe. So on top of the Bindu, she's filled with this Sringara Rasa, and she's dizzy with it, and her eyes are looking red because of that. Madapāṭala gaṇḍabhūḥ. Mada again is intoxication. Pāṭala is pink color. And Ganda means cheeks. Bhuhu means spots in the cheeks. So her cheeks are flushed. There are pink spots in her cheeks. Chandana dravadigdhāṅgī. Chandana is the sandalwood. Drava is the paste. So sandalwood paste. Digdha means to smear, to apply all over. Angi means parts. So she is as if she has applied sandalwood paste all over her body. What does that mean? That means she is fragrant. So she's smelling very good. So on top of the Bindu, she has this red eyes, her cheeks are flushed, and she is smelling very good. Chāmpeya kusuma priyā. So Chāmpeya is the champaka flower, magnolia champaka. Kusuma means flower. Priyā means one who likes. One who likes the champaka flower. So why is champaka flower referenced here? Champaka flower is a metaphor for non-separation. So we spoke about the subject, object, and the process of experience, or the intelligence of that subject becoming aware of the object. That is the triad of reality. When we say a flower smells good, any flower, champaka, champangi is a very fragrant flower. When we say a flower smells good, if you see in there, what does it imply? First of all, the person who smelled. If I say flower smells good, it is implied in there that I'm the one who's smelling that flower, right? And then if you see what is the object I'm becoming aware of, the smell of the flower, that is also implied in that statement. And then how did I smell it? Through my nose, through the process of smelling, which is also implied in that. So the flower, a fragrant flower like champaka, represents within itself the person who is smelling the flower, the smell that is being experienced, and the process of smelling. And that's why we call the champaka flower as a metaphor for non-separation. And if you see earlier in this Lalita Sahasranama also, we have seen Nava Champaka Pushpaba Nasa Danda Virajita. So her nose is like a newly blossomed champaka flower. Again there, this was a metaphor for the trikona, the smelling, the process of smelling, and the person who is smelling it. So it is a metaphor there. So at the top of the bindu, she is someone who is fond of non-separation or unity, unity of experiences, and she is someone who is able to offer that to us. So we have covered all the namas in this sloka. Let's look at a story related to the nama madaghūrṇita raktākśhī. So we are going to look at a story of a goddess who has red eyes, raktākśhī, and she is called as Indrakshi. So the Indrakshi Gayatri says, Basmayudaya vidmahi raktanetraya dhimahi tanno jvarahara prachodayat. So she is Indrakshi Devi, who is capable of curing all the diseases and granting everybody a happy life, happy, healthy life. And Indrakshi, there is also a stotram called Indrakshi Stotram. And in the pandemic, a lot of people actually chant that regularly. So anyone who chants that regularly will be cured from all the diseases. And Indrakshi Stotram was given to sage Narada by Narayana. Once sage Narada went and asked Narayana, how is it that you're always healthy? And then he asked, how can the rest of the world also become healthy? At that time, Narayana taught the Indrakshi Stotram to sage Narada, who then taught it to sage Purandara, and sage Purandara gave this to the rest of the mankind. So it's called as Indrakshi Stotram, which is a very powerful stotram, and chanting it is will cure. Even Indrakshi Gayatri is very powerful. If you take a little bit of vibhuti and place it between the right thumb, middle finger and ring finger, and chant the Indrakshi Gayatri and then put it on your forehead, it's supposed to be something that's a great protection, and it's also believed to cure all the fevers, etc. So we'll see a small story related to Indrakshi, and actually there is a Shakti Peeth called Indrakshi Shakti Peetham, and it is said that Sati's silambu or the anklets fell there, and it is in Jaffna, Sri Lanka, and it is in that place Indra worshipped this goddess, and that is the story we are going to look at today. So once Lord Brahma was perfecting his creation. So he was creating a lot of women, and out of that his best creation was called Ahalya. Halya means deformity or ugliness, and Ahalya means no ugliness. So he created a best woman, and she is so beautiful, and Brahma considered her his own daughter. And so once Ahalya was created, Brahma wanted to make sure she's not just good looking, she excels in all aspects. So he called sage Gautama and asked him to educate Ahalya. And he said, when she reaches adolescence, you should bring her back to me. Until then, you can educate her. So sage Gautama took her to his ashram and he educated her. And when she reached adolescence, he returned her back to Brahma. And once she came back to Brahma, Brahma decided to get her married. And Ahalya's beauty cannot be described in words. She is the perfect creation. She is the most beautiful. So her beauty had attracted the attention of everyone, be it devas, be it gandharvas, be it human beings, be it rishis. Everybody had their eyes on Ahalya because she is so beautiful. And especially Indra, who is the head of all the devas, and he always likes anything beautiful, he needs to have it. So he had an eye on Ahalya and he always wanted to marry Ahalya. Now Brahma becomes aware of this intense competition for Ahalya. So he decided that maybe we should just have a challenge, and whoever wins that challenge will be the one who will get to marry Ahalya. So Brahma says that anyone who goes around the earth whoever comes first, that person will get to marry Ahalya. So the competition is declared, and lots of people are taking part in it, and everybody is trying. And Indra is trying really hard. He really wants to get married to Ahalya. In the meantime, sage Gautama was also there, and he witnessed Kamadhenu giving birth to Nandini. It's a divine birth there. And the Kamadhenu was near a Shivling, and that's where she was giving birth. And seeing this, sage Gautama was really overcome with emotion. So he went around Kamadhenu and Shivaling, and this actually constitutes as going around the earth. Kamadhenu with Shivaling is considered as the entirety of earth. And Brahma, who can see everything, witnessed this, and he immediately declared Gautama, sage Gautama, as the winner of the competition, because it amounts to that. In the meantime, all the other people have gone. They are trying to come around the earth. Indra is successful in that, and he comes first. And he's so proud of himself. He's saying, now I've won it. But Brahma said, no, Indra, you didn't come first. Sage Gautama was the one who came first. And when Indra asked how, he explained this. Indra really felt tricked. He felt like this is all cheating. He actually went around the earth, and this person just went around. But Brahma is very well versed in Vedas and everything. So he knows exactly what counts. And so Brahma was very pleased with sage Gautama and said, sage Gautama, you're the one who's fit to marry Ahalya. So Brahma gets Ahalya married to sage Gautama, and they go to their ashram, and Ahalya is living there, and they're living peacefully there. And sage Gautama, being a sage, he is so much into all the different meditations. Every day morning he has a routine, he has to do all of those. He's writing lots of other books, etc. So he focuses his attention on all of that. Ahalya is running the household, keeping things clean there, making sure sage Gautama has what he needs for all his yajna, everything. So she is running it like that. Indra, even though Ahalya got married, he still had his eyes on Ahalya. He could not get over the fact that she got married to sage Gautama, and her beauty is such that he is really desiring her. So he's been constantly stalking her, watching what's happening in this household. And he realizes that sage Gautama tends to go to take bath early in the morning. He takes a while, and then he's always busy with other things. So now Indra decides that at any cost he has to have Ahalya. So he hatches a plan, and he takes Moon to be his co-conspirator. So he tells Moon, now you have to take the form of a rooster, and then instead of crowing when the sun comes, you do it a little bit early. So then sage Gautama will go, then at that time I can have Ahalya. So the Moon also agrees. So one day at about 2 o'clock itself, the rooster crows. And so sage Gautama thinks, okay, it's morning. So he goes to go take bath and finish all his prayers. So he went away. In the meantime, Indra took the form of sage Gautama, and he came inside the ashram. And he seduces Ahalya. And there are multiple versions of that. Some people say that Ahalya immediately knew that who's in front of her is Indra, but she was flattered that that Indra really desires her so much, and therefore gave in. Other people say that Ahalya was completely ignorant, and she didn't know that this was not her husband. Either way, Indra seduces her, and after he is finished with it, he is just about to leave. Sage Gautama finishes all his things, and he is coming inside. And as soon as he sees the scene inside, he understands what has happened, and he is really angry. He looks at Indra, and what a shameful act that he has done, that he has coveted another man's wife. And that was like completely irresponsible, and it was not something fitting of the leader of Devas. And so he is immediately very angry, and he curses Indra and says that, you were running after women shamelessly. It seems like all you are desiring is a vagina. You don't think about who that person is and who they are married to, etc. Because you seem to like vagina so much, you will have 1,000 vaginas all over your body. So he curses him. And he also curses Moon, who conspired with Deva, with Indra. It was not befitting of Moon either, and it said that that's why there is still the spot on the moon, the black spot on the moon, because it's a black mark for the moon to have assisted Indra in such a bad deed. And then he also curses Ahalya. He says, even if he took the form of, he came in my form, you should know the difference between your husband and another man. By touch, you should have been able to tell, but because you didn't do that, now you will lose this form and you will vanish into thin air and you will be treated like a stone. So, because of that, Ahalya turns into a stone. Now, Sage Gautama curses all of them and he walks away from that place. Instantly, Indra gets all this 1,000 vagina all over his body. And now he's become the laughing stock of the devas and everybody. Everybody is talking about him and say, he couldn't control his lust and he went after a sage's wife and see what happened. And he's not able to show his face outside. And he's terribly ashamed of how he looks. And as we all know, Indra is one of the most handsome men. So now he's looking really bad, and it's also vagina. It's not like anything else, it's a vagina. So he's ashamed and he goes and locks himself inside a cave. And now for a few days, everybody is laughing about it and all that. But after a while, they start to realize that by Indra not doing his job, the universe is beginning to suffer. So the whole idea of Indra and the Devas is to maintain working conditions in the universe. So each of them have to do their duty so that everything is working fine for the earth and all other planets, etc. So now they are all realizing that Indra not doing his job is beginning to interfere with the maintenance of the universe. So the devas all go to the cave where Indra has locked himself up and they are saying, please come out, you have to do your job. And Indra is saying, I can't show my face like this to anybody, so I don't want to come. So the devas don't know what to do, so they go to Brahma and say, can you please say some way out of it? Can you please somehow forgive him and get rid of all this vagina in his body? And then Brahma is also very upset because what Indra did was to Ahalya, and Brahma considered Ahalya his daughter, and also from a creation perspective, she was his best creation. Everything about her was good, and now he put a black mark on her. Nobody wants to think good of her. So Brahma is really upset and he says, I can't do anything. And besides, he messed with the woman and her chastity. So this is not something that I can decide on. You ask him to go and pray to Shakti. And if she's willing to forgive, then it's okay. So now at least they have a way out. So they go to Indra and tell him that you should pray to Shakti and maybe Shakti can do something about it. So immediately Indra leaves to Himalayas, and in there he's chanting, and he's chanting in the name of Shakti. So the chants are growing louder and louder and louder, and Indra is really engaged in that chanting. And as he is constantly chanting, Parvati is in Kailasa, it's in Himalayas. She is able to hear all of that, but Parvati doesn't want to pay attention to him because she is really mad with what he did. It is a shameful act, and he has violated a woman, and she wants nothing to do with him. So he continues to chant, and years pass by, and the chants are growing louder and louder and louder. Now Lakshmi in Vishnu Loka is able to hear it, Saraswati in Brahma Loka is able to hear it, the entire universe is beginning to hear, and the intensity of his chant is increasing the heat in the universe. And if somebody is chanting like this and they are continuing to be engaged, it generates a lot of heat, and that can come to destroy the universe. So now they have to do something. So Lakshmi and Saraswati immediately come to Kailasha and they're asking Parvati what to do about this. Now he's chanting. And Parvati is saying, even I'm split about it. And if you see with gods, they are very just. They don't judge whether the person is a good person or a bad person. If action has a certain result, if the person performs the action, that result will be attained. So it is an equal thing. So that's why gods and all bestow blessings even for demons. They don't say you're a demon, you're a bad guy, I won't give you any boon. If the demon does the right thing, they will give. So in here, Indra, even though he has committed a very shameful act, for years now he's been engaged, he is doing this chant, which means somebody has to answer him. They cannot just ignore him and leave it at that. So now all the three goddesses are coming together, and out of the three goddesses comes a form, and there is a new goddess. And so now they are saying, okay, you go and answer Indra. So now that goddess goes And now she's answering Indra, and Indra is pleased that finally somebody is answering his chants. And so he prays to the goddess and he says, please, Shakti, you get rid of all these yonis from my body. I'm ashamed. I can't go out like this, and I'm not able to do my job because of that. And then the goddess says that, see, what you have committed is a very grave sin. Nobody should be violating a woman, and that too, a woman who's married to another man should not be coveted at all. But what you've done is really bad. So I cannot get rid of these yonis. And so Indra is very disappointed. And she says, if you want, I can convert these yonis into something else. And therefore, she converts all his yonis into eyes. So that's why Indra is also called as Sahasraksha. So the 1,000 yonis became 1,000 eyes. And so Indra is happy with that. And then at that time, all the three Devis are appearing there, and all the Trimurtis are also appearing there. Shiva, Narayana, and Brahma, everybody is appearing there. And then Shiva says, because you gave eyes to Indra, you will be called as Indrakshi. And the eyes can be a metaphor, right? She made him realize the sin. It's not something where you do such a mean act to a woman and then get all your sins forgiven, even if you do a lot of penance. So the mark of that is he is still carrying with the akshis. And that way, she has opened his eyes to what is right and what is wrong. So that's why she is called as Indrakshi. So Shiva gave her that name. And then, but at the same time, she has cured something that Indra was suffering from. And therefore, Narayana said, Indrakshi, hereafter you will have the ability to go cure everybody from whatever diseases that they are suffering. So, Indrakshi is a goddess who is able to cure all the diseases, and she opened the eyes of Indra. So, this is the story about Indrakshi. That's all for today. Thank you.